I'm not a politician. I'm not about a religion. I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more. That word is only a color. It ain't facts no more. It ain't facts no more. It ain't facts no more. Buzzing. Radars is buzzing.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Today, it is prohibited, and you can Google this, to do a DNA test in Israel. Totally forbidden. Wrong. It's illegal. It's a crime. You'll be jailed if you do a DNA test in Israel. Why? Because they know the truth will come out. You come from Poland, you come from Ukraine, you came from Europe, you came from everywhere else. And they were the original Middle Eastern Jews who lived together with the Muslims and the Christians for centuries. For centuries. So what happened to a lot of the Jews?
Why do you think that the U.S. is so quick to go help Israel fight against the Palestinians? Why? They know that the Jewish people in Israel are not the original people. Oh, no, no, no. They are definitely not. The original people are Black people and people of color. So why did one lady, Judith Shore, she was an Israeli consul, say that the biggest threat in Israel is the younger Black community? Why do they feel so threatened? Why? Because you know why? They know that the Black people were the original chosen ones, the original ones that were there. The people over there now, they took over all that land, just like they're trying to take over all of Palestine. They have taken so much land from Palestine also, but watch what this lady says about the Black community being Israel's biggest problem.
The major problem with Israel is with the young generation of the Black community. Black Lives Matter starts there. I had last week sit-down dinner at my house with 30 people, which are considered the leadership of the Black community.
Buzzing. Radars is buzzing.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the first and maybe only racial draft here in New York City. Folks, this is for all the marbles. What happens here will state the racial standing of these Americans once and for all.
That's right. And the crowd is here to support their races.
Well, Rob, some of the biggest names in sports and in entertainment are on the line tonight, and I'm excited to see who's going to be drafted by which race.
I'm an Orthodox Jew, and I've known Drake for over 15 years. Here's a video of me and him in the nightclubs before I was religious. Somebody just sent me the ridiculous video from Kendric Lamar dissing my boy Drake. And there's one thing that stood out to me that kept on repeating itself over and over in the song. Kendric Lamar keeps on saying, "They not like us." And Kendrick, you are absolutely right. Drake is not like you. Because Drake is a Jew. He's the son of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's part of the Jewish people, part of the greatest story ever told. Now, Drake, like many others, is lost in the world and doesn't always know how to reveal his Jewish soul. But when you say, "They not like us," you're 100% right. He's not like you. He's royalty. So to my boy Drake, I hope this reaches you. Remember, they are telling you very clearly, you are not like them. You are a Jewish man. Be proud, be loud, and stand up and be counted for who you truly are.
Seated behind me on the stage there are the various representatives, and believe it or not, the Blacks have actually won the first pick.
Wow, that's the first lottery a Black person's won in a long time, Billy.
Yes, and they'll probably still complain.
Man, you.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA, inside my DNA, inside my DNA.
Is this an accurate depiction of Shakespeare? How did Shakespeare describe himself? Let's go to the autobiography of Shakespeare, a fragment by Alexander Lewis Charles, 1839 to 1913. So we're going to go to Shakespeare's own words. Shakespeare describes his father and his grandfather's appearance. I remember my father, Richard Shakespeare of Warwick. He was a small, dark man and had a large head and very little hands and feet, being asked to that like my grandfather, Thomas of Utrecht, as I often told. His father and his grandfather are dark. Let's see what he says about his brother. He goes a little deeper here. He loved us, my younger brother, John, and me, but he often seemed as if we were not living or loving him, though at times he would play with us and tell us stories and sing to us and buy us sweetmeats and toys. I was but a very little boy, but I mind me well of him and of his fantastic ways of curling his mustachios or mustache and beard, which were dark and shiny, as were his fine large eyes, very unlike the hue and complexion of Shakespeare's of Warwick and Stratton on Avon and of other parts, whom I did in after years meet, which were light and somewhat inclined to auburn or red. So it's saying that his brother is lighter than he. Shakespeare described himself as being dark. This is the color of auburn. So we know he's not dealing with Caucasian. The etymology dictionary definition of auburn, it says here, whitish, yellowish white, flaccid color, off-white, whitish, the meaning shifted 16th century to reddish brown under the influence of Middle English. We see the word brun, which we get the word brown. So that's why I shared with you the color of auburn. He's not dealing with this whitish yellow. He's dealing with reddish brown. Why is that important? Shakespeare said his brother's skin complexion was lighter than his. His brother's skin complexion, he describes it as auburn, which would be synonymous to biblical ruddy. What is the definition of biblical ruddy? This is coming from the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia 1950. It says ruddy is the form taken by an adjective of red when used as a term of praise of the human skin. And this is its use in the Bible. In other words, the Hebrew and Greek words are all usual words for red or to be red. The dark-skinned Hebrews found great beauty in a clear complexion. We come in different shades. David is described as comely and dark. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 12. Now he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance. Now this is the KJV translation. It says, now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance. Let's see what another translation says about this. This is the International Standard Version. It says, so he sent and brought him. He had a dark, healthy complexion with beautiful eyes. He was handsome. So we see that David in the International Standard Bible Version, we see that he is described as being what? Dark and healthy. The NHEB version, let's see what it says. And he sent and brought him in. He was reddish brown and had beautiful eyes, and he was handsome. This is the NLT. So Jesse sent for him. He was dark and handsome with beautiful eyes. Family, we just proved just with different translations that David was dark.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA, inside my DNA, inside my DNA.
Shakespeare describes his appearance and he describes his ethnicity. Let's go back into his autobiography. On page 57 of 58, it says, and Will Shakespeare, that I was a small, dark man with great eyes, whom the women loved not a little, but who loved them not too much, and who was not seldom called the little Jew boy, or the little Jew from the Midland counties, which made me to fume with anger. For I knew not then, as I did afterwards, that my grandfather Thomas, the little of Utrecht in Holland, had been born a Jew.
Salute the truth from the prophets say, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA, inside my DNA, inside my DNA. My DNA not for imitation, or DNA an abomination, or DNA an abomination, or DNA an abomination.
We're going to deal with the Chaldeans. This is the territory that Abraham was raised in. This is the territory that Abraham dwelt, Sarah dwelt, his father dwelt, his family dwelt. So let's get an idea of exactly who the Chaldees were. All right, let's go here. It says here, in consequence of the prejudice, for it is really prejudice, against the Negro, or I ought rather to say, against the possibility of a Negro being learned and scientific arising from an acquaintance with the present Negro character. I admit, with great difficulty, the theory of all the earlier astronomical knowledge of the Chaldees having been acquired or invented by his race, and that the Chaldees were originally
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Strong's G 3526. Niger.
Buzzing, radars is buzzing.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here because you can bring great clarity. Can you tell us a little bit about the Sephardic Jews and how they were scattered because they went west?
I sure can.
Because the reason why I want to is because a lot of them, and a lot of people don't know this, are in the Caribbean.
They are.
In the islands.
And you're one of them. I know that.
I'm one of them.
I know that.
Because, you know, a lot of folk don't know that those roots are there. One of the first batches of slaves that came to Jamaica, they were the Sephardic Jews. It's documented.
And they're all over the Caribbean,
all over the Caribbean,
South America, Central America, and even the South Central United States.
Wow.
And DNA testing is a factor in all this now.
I'm not a politician. I'm not about a religion. I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more. That word is only a color. It ain't facts no more.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
Ancient Israelite, that's who we are. That's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time, all that he said,
no, we don't have
so many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites or you want to be Jews?
My cousin Carl, Duckworth said, know my worth. And Deuteronomy say that we all been cursed. And Deuteronomy say that we all been cursed. And Deuteronomy say that we all been cursed.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was Abraham, born in the city of a black man called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons. For real, and these were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10.